Hey, welcome back everybody. So we're on week 15. We're halfway through the month of January already. And remember, this is a full week of school. Next week, we only have a 4-day work week because of Martin Luther King Day. All right, let's get started. Week 15, January 12th, Tuesday. New lesson this week. All these letters, SSS, SAS, ASA. What does all of this stuff mean? Theorems, things we can prove. The CPCTC corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, so this week we want to discuss things that correspond to each other, okay? All right, so when I take both of my hands and I put them together, do you see that the thumbs correspond, the index, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the little finger all correspond to each other? Okay, just like in a triangle, if I draw two identical triangles, 1 and 2, we have angles that correspond, we have sides that correspond. Today's lesson is all about how do we identify and write out those corresponding parts of congruent triangles to show that they're congruent. So let's get started. First of all, in the mailer I sent home, you're going to see in the top corner our master key. This is how we talk about it to speed up the process. But before we're ready to use that, I'd like everybody to draw a triangle, create a triangle that is 3 units by 4 units by 5 units. Now, don't worry about measuring and all that stuff. Just kind of estimate. 3, 4, 5. Each one's a little bit longer than the next one. Pause the video, give it a try. All right, welcome back. In most cases, you're going to have something that looks like this. Serious. Each side's a little bit longer than the next one. It's a really famous actual triangle, and it's an actual right triangle. And given enough time and the right tools, you would see that there's only one possible triangle that has the 3, 4, 5 measurements. Seriously. And later in the week, we're going to call that the side rule. But for now, let's go and actually get started today. Identifying the corresponding parts in congruent triangles. It turns out there's 3 angles that go together, boom, boom, and 3 sides that go together. Okay, so I'm going to label this the 3, 4, 5. The 3, 4, 5. Now remember, we've been learning about notation. You see how the 1 hash mark corresponds to the 1 hash mark? 2 to 2 and 3 to 3. Same idea. Now, when we identify the corresponding parts, there's lots of ways to do it. If we were to just pick this DEF up and slide it over, we'd probably see that A goes to D, C goes to F, and B goes to E. I always like to start with the side with the 1, okay? So I'm going to start on this side right here, and I'm going to label this angle 1, okay? And we're going to go in this direction. So let's identify the 3 angles that correspond to each other. A to D, okay? Because we're going in this direction. A, C, B, 1, 2, 3, D, E, F. So angle D is congruent to angle F. Angle C is congruent, angle D, whoopsie, angle A to D. Wow, messed that up, Monty. Okay, there we go. Let's start over here. There we go. More coffee. Okay, A to D, C to F, and E to B, B to E. B is congruent to E. Now we got to do the same thing with the sides. Okay, and again, I see the side with one hash mark, and we're going towards the 2, towards the 2. So AC, segment AC is congruent to segment DF. CB, FE. CB, FE. Those segments are congruent. ED, BA, ED. BA is congruent to ED. Okay? Now it takes a little bit of time. 3 angles to 3 angles, 3 sides to 3 sides, but we're going to learn later in the week we don't have to do them all. But today is all about being able to identify the corresponding parts of corresponding triangles. The last thing I want to show you is we would actually say triangle ACB is congruent, got to go in the same order, has to be in the same order, D, E, F. Okay? All right. Let's go try a couple problems. All right. The corresponding parts of corresponding triangle are congruent. Complete each congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side. Okay, so we do, you do. Okay? All right. Now, as we look at these, what I'd like you to learn to do is read them in order, just like we did in our practice one. M and Q is our starting point. Start, start. Then we go to N, P. N, P. There it is. Go that direction, go that direction. Go this direction, go this direction. Even if the drawing doesn't look quite right, if you're given the actual letters, you have to follow that order. Okay? Well, it says find the corresponding angle. M. M was the starting point. M is the starting point. So the starting point of the second triangle is Q. Q. Angle Q. Done. You try the next one. Pause the video, and when you come back, we'll go over it and start the next one. All right, welcome back. So, did you see that R was the starting point, and it went to C, R to C? Okay, let's move on. Now, in this one, we want to identify all 6 of the items, the 3 angles and the 3 sides. So let's get started. Our starting point, I and B. I, B. Okay, now we've got our starting point. Then we go J, C, J, C. Got it. We're going to go this direction and this direction, this direction, this direction. B, C, D, B, C, D, I, J, K, I, J, K. Let's just write them out. Angle I is congruent to angle B. J to C. Angle J is congruent to angle C. Angle K is congruent to angle D. Now let's do the segments. Segment, segment, in that order. So the sides, we're going to go IJ, BC. IJ, BC. IJ is congruent to BC. Yep. IJ, BC. JK, CD. JK, CD. Finish this off. We're going to go KI, DB. KI, DB. KI is congruent to DB. Cool. All right. So we do. Now pause the video and you do the same thing. All 6. Now, just today I'm forcing you to do all 6. When we come back Thursday, you're going to see there's a faster way. All right. corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. There's that CPCTC. Complete each congruent statement. Now in this one, they didn't tell us the triangles. All they showed us was all the labels, all the symbols. A goes to X, AC goes to XY, C goes to Y. So 1, 1, 2, 2, goes in this direction, goes in this direction. All we have to do is write out that triangle XYW is congruent to ACV. Okay, so we do. You do. Give this a try. Make sure you log into Mathia. Give it a good 20 minutes, and I'll see you on Thursday when we learn a faster way so we don't have to write all 6 items every time. Have a great start of the week, everybody. See you Thursday.